take a look at how you would access trial data in the Auburn Medius.re system. The first thing you're going to be presented with if you've never come to the site before is you will get a product selection modal. And so here in the product selection modal, let's go ahead and select Peanuts. That will take us to the Peanuts dashboard, and we're going to go ahead and select Trials. So once the trial page loads, you will see a list of trial years available to you and a list of trials here. If you need to expand the trial years, just click on the date range, expand that date range, and hit apply, and it will fetch that new list of trials for you here. You have the ability to filter this trial list by specific locations, what are called trial blocks. So if I only wanted to look at OVT trial locations, I can go ahead and select these, and now my list has been filtered down for me. So let's go ahead and select trial, and we're going to look at 2023 trial because it has a full set of data, and we're going to pull this trial right here. So I'm just going to select that, and what you'll see is any data that is available will be shown for me over here. And we have several different what are called data field groups, these tabs here at the top for you to view data. So there's the research one, there's a ratings, means, loan values. These are going to be different for each commodity, but the concept is the same. And so I can see all the varieties that were in the trial and what their values were. If I wanted to look at the research data, I have that as well. You have the ability, you can scroll over, and if your screen size is big enough, it will fix the year, the trial block, and the variety. If it's not, it'll just allow you to fill the screen. But you can either click down here on this scroll bar or hold the shift key down and scroll up and down with your mouse, and that's easier to move left and right. And so you'll see all of the values here that you would expect. And then you have the means tab. All of these will have the information that's beneficial to you, just displayed in different ways. So let's go ahead and get more information out of this trial. You'll notice some icons over here as well as up here at the top. So if you see this little comment icon here on a trial, that means there's some specific notes related to that trial. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and we'll see back on October 20th, there was a comment about this trial that's going to give me some indication as to why maybe the data looks the way that it does. So that can be helpful to you. The calendar little icon here is trial events. These will be all of the different applications or harvesting, tilling, anything like that that has a date event and something happened to this trial. Those will be there for you. The next tab shows you a trial map. So if you wanted to see where that trial occurred, here's the research station where that trial occurred. Then you have the weather data. So we'll go ahead and click on weather data. That will automatically default to the start date and the end date. So the start date is when the trial was planted. The end date is when the trial was harvested. And so you'll see that date range appear automatically. If you need to change that, go ahead and click on that and then select the new date range and hit apply. It will default to give you your max air temperature and your precipitation, but if you wanted to pull in something else, you can go ahead and select any one of these available data fields for you. But what's handy is you can see a nice air temperature overlaid over precipitation, and then all the different trial events are showing up here in the graph. If you want to turn those trial events off, just come right up here to show trial events, turn those off, and it'll clean up your map here for you, or your graph. You'll also see the min, the max, the average, and the sum. Not all of these aggregates are appropriate for each one of the data fields, but they're all available to you should you need it. So for example, something like growing degree days, you could see what your total accumulation is between planting and harvest. So between May 16th and October 19th, here's your sum, assuming that your threshold is 65 degrees, which is the default. You can change that threshold up here at the top. If you wish to change that recalculation, you could make that threshold something else. We'll rebuild that. And you'll notice that our growing degree days changed down here. So you can specify what you want that to be. You can look at all the raw weather data just by clicking on the weather data tab up here, and you'll see all of the raw weather data available to you. In addition to that, you'll see in the little notes over here different events that have occurred on different days. And then if you want to know where that weather station is, you can click on weather station and it'll show you. Oh, perfect. It's right there at the research location where this trial had occurred. So related to weather data, you do have the ability, if you want to share this, you can copy that link, or you can export the graph as an image as well. A couple different ways of interacting with that trial data. And then the other thing here related to the trials is you've got this copy link. So if I were to click on this, it would generate a unique URL for me again that I could send this specific trial to somebody. And then there's one more icon that we're looking for, and that's going to be this little media icon. It's you have a picture and then a video film in the back. This is going to be to find any images in the trial. So let's go ahead. I can select this trial. I've got a couple options here. You'll see that these icons also appear next to the variety records where that image is applied. So for example, if I click on that image, it is going to pull up the full resolution image for me, and then it is going to tell me what that's applied to. So down here I can see that's the Georgia 06G, and I can see when any notes that were given on that particular image. If there's more than one image, you'll see that right up here. So one of two, I can go and see the second one as well. So we'll go ahead and exit out of that. Or I can look at all of the images by clicking here for the entire trial. We can go ahead and pull up these thumbnails. And so now I have all of the images that are associated with the entire trial. And I can walk through any one of these and pull up the full resolution of those images. So it's a handy way to be able to find any image associated with the data, and images sometimes can be really helpful to finding out more information. So that is a quick overview of how to navigate and utilize the trial data aspect of Medius.re.